Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Count that money, man.
Now wipe the crust out of your eyes, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Let's get it. Good morning, 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 good people. Monday, August 22nd, 2022. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with Ray G. And for that, I appreciate you being here, man. You know, I was out on Friday, had surgery on Thursday, but I'm back in the building, man. I did not want to get Wally pipped by Jay Rich. I heard the enthusiasm from all of y'all out there, how good he did, how much better the show was without me. Without me, damn it, it's Wake Up with Ray G, not Jay Rich, but I don't know. Jay Rich held it down enough that you might be seeing him by himself a little bit more. Appreciate everything he did. Jay, good morning to you and good morning to the people in the building who we got. Dominic, Marlon, James, Mike A, Cole Whirl in the building, Bruning, Rowe in the building. I see James, Jay Peters. Hey, man, Jay Peters screwed me in the auction yesterday. We're in the auction draft. Jay Peters screwed me over. Troy in the building. Squad. Ty, what's up? Ricardo. It's good to see everybody. I missed y'all, man. Where's the sponsors at? Where's Prize Picks at? Gotta get the money on the screen. There we go. Boom. Prize Picks, Wake Up. Jay Rich, how you doing today, baby?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Definitely, appreciate having you back. It was a little stressful doing the solo show.
I was watching.
I will admit that. But I wanted to definitely say thank you to everybody who reached out, said good job, all that stuff. Yeah. I do appreciate it. But glad to have you back, Ray. I know that the people are glad to have you back, I'm sure. So good to see you back, hopefully. You know, the Achilles is slowly healing. We know it's a long process.
It's not good, Jay.
You're feeling okay.
It's not good. I'm going to be propping my leg up throughout the show. You might see underwear. Just don't mind me, man. This family. We family here, man. I could walk around in my damn drawers. Like, y'all are good with that, right? We family, baby. Be all right. But I'm glad to be back, Jay. You did a great job. Honestly, man, you did a phenomenal job on the show on Friday, and I think we got some good things down the line. College football is back. NFL is back, damn near. And I think we got some cool things on the Wake Up lineup that people are really going to appreciate. But we won't announce that yet. We'll roll it out slowly, and they'll see. But we got a lot to get to, Jay. I don't want to play around. We're going to go through every game, kind of some takeaways, some observations. But you got a little bit of news for us, right?
Yes, for sure. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, so this is Straight Facts, where I present nothing but we're starting off in Tampa Bay, where, last week we talked about when is Tom Brady coming back. Well, it was reported that Tom Brady will be back early this week, but unfortunately for the Bucs, they also lose their starting guard Aaron Stinney to a torn ACL and MCL. So another injury for this Bucs offensive line. There was a small report that Tristan Wirfs should be coming back soon, but he is also dealing with an injury. So hopefully this Bucs offensive line can get it going because, obviously they're favorites for the NFC South. They're one of the title favorites. So a lot of things riding on that offensive line. Hopefully they can get it together. On top of that, for the Packers, David Bakhtiari did clear off the pup yesterday. So he had ACL surgery last year. We thought he may come back, but ultimately he didn't. So now he's off the pup, hopefully getting back for Aaron Rodgers. So lots of good things for Green Bay and their offensive line. Obviously, we love the running backs there. We don't love the wide receivers, but Christian Watson did return to practice. So he's been cleared to practice. So another rookie that we're expecting some things from finally back at practice with a few weeks to go till the regular season. Pete Carroll also announced that Ken Walker's surgery was successful, but that there is no timetable for return right now. He initially said he's hopeful for week 1. It's not looking like that's going to be the case for Ken Walker. When do we see him? I'm not sure. Rashad Penny, I believe, still dealing with the injury. We talked about Travis Homer and DJ Dallas being part of that backfield. I don't know what's going to happen now, but with Ken Walker not coming back right away, Hard to know exactly when to expect him to start, but he will be back at some point, obviously. Michael Thomas is apparently dealing with a bit of a hamstring injury, which is a new injury. It was reported by Dennis Allen. He said that he sat out practice with a bit of a hamstring injury. That's kind of all we know right now. But Jameis Winston did return to 7-on-7 practice and was throwing the ball a little bit. So he is back, and we don't have to see so much Andy Dalton. Hopefully we'll see a lot more Jameis Winston. And then I saw that, Ray, I'm sure you saw this, Isaiah Spiller did deal with a minor ankle injury. I don't believe we've got an update on that yet, but that was on Saturday in the game. Tyquan Thornton, I don't know if he broke his collarbone, but he suffered a collarbone injury and is expected out 8+ weeks. So that's not good for a guy that we were expecting something from to bolster that pass offense. Now we're stuck with Nelson Aguilar, Devontae Parker, and Jacoby Myers. And then your boy, Matt Corral, suffered a Liz Frank injury, which is a midfoot sprain injury. We saw it with Hollywood Brown, Travis Etienne last season out for the year, and Derrick Henry as well last season, also suffering the midfoot sprain. We don't know what the status is, but it's more so about a pain tolerance issue, I believe, and more so planting on that leg. Not as bad for a quarterback. So he maybe come back this season, but it does depend on the severity of that injury. So we'll see what happens to Matt Corral, but he was in a boot over the weekend, and we're not sure exactly what his timetable is for return, but I'm sure he will be back at some point. Ray, anything you want to touch on here before we get into the preseason games?
Nah, man, let's just jump right into it. And we want to kind of talk about what we learned, right? Preseason week 2. A lot of teams, they weren't playing there. Some teams didn't play their starters at all, and some teams let the starters run rampant. Some gave them a series here or there. There was a lot to take away. This was an interesting week of preseason football, and I had nothing else to do but lay in the bed and watch all of it. Literally, just watch all of it. There was nothing else to do. And as always, we're contractually obligated to start off with the Washington Commanders. So we're just going to start off with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Commanders and what we kind of learned or what I took away from that game. And the most important thing, in my opinion, Jay, is Patrick Mahomes is going to be just fine. I mean, he looks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter who's out there. He's going to make them relevant, right? You saw MVS get a couple of grabs. He was out there. Mm-hmm. Kelsey did his thing. Juju didn't play, but Mahomes was in rare form. I mean, he absolutely lit up the Commanders' defense. Now, no Chase Young. They're still missing some players, but it's good to see Patrick Mahomes is going to be fine, right? I'm not saying that losing Tyreek Hill isn't going to hurt at some point because I'm sure they will feel that loss. But Mahomes is going to be just fine. Travis Kelce is going to be a dog. We talked about it in our Discord, man, patreon.com/allgas. I know the dynasty community is rookie fevered, right? They just think every rookie is going to go out here and have a Jamar Chase level season. But Sky Moore looks to be like 5th on the depth chart, man, like the pecking order of receptions. Yep. We've always said that Sky Moore was more of a 2023 play, but I just, listen, Justin Watson looked good. MVS is going to do his thing. Juju's out there. I don't know if people should be penciling in Sky Moore for 800-900 yards this season, man. It seems like there's clearly an order, and maybe he will show his flashes throughout this season, but it might be a 2023 thing with Sky Moore. Isaiah Pacheco, I don't know if you saw the run where he clearly missed like a wide open, like Mahomes is like pointing, run this way, and he slams it up the back inside the middle and misses a hole, but it seems like he's going to be a thing, but I think people are a little out over their skis with Pacheco. It's probably going to be a lot of CEH, a lot of McKinnon. Mm-hmm. He's a thing, but people trading him for trading first-round picks for him and doing stupid shit, probably not a wise idea. I just would not be doing that. Also, Carson Wentz looked fine, man. Like, I think Carson Wentz is going to be safe this year. Sam Howell is not ready. I know we continue to talk about these rookies getting an opportunity, but I don't think Sam Howell is going to just take Carson Wentz's job. And I don't know if that's good or bad for Washington fans, but he's going to be safe. Jahan Dotson running with the ones, of course. But the biggest news is Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. And are you shocked? Like, is anybody out there shocked? Is anybody out there shocked? Brian Robinson starts the game at running back. Antonio Gibson starts the game on special teams, plays throughout the second quarter. B-Rob, listen, we continue to say it. Every signal from the NFL draft until today has indicated that they need to find somebody else to tote the rock. Now, the positive is Gibson looked good when he got his opportunity, especially in the receiving game, which we know that. He was a damn receiver in college. would it be better? Like, just vibe with me here for a minute, Jay. Would it be better if Antonio Gibson were the passing down back? Like, let Robinson grind away between the 20s, Gibson on the field, 2-minute drill, quick 4-minute offense, third down situations. Would that be a more fruitful fantasy outcome for us if that's sort of Gibson's role?
It would be, but I think the problem is that can we actually project that with J.D. McKissic still on the roster, right? If he was gone and you're saying, do you want Brian Robinson and his kind of 2-down grinder role, or do you want Antonio Gibson and his pass catching role? I think you can make the case for either side, even though I will take Brian Robinson's touchdown upside and then Antonio Gibson more so on the pass catching side. But if J.D. McKissic is there and in the fold, like, Ray, honestly, do you think that Antonio Gibson is a better third down back than J.D. McKissic? Because
I think he could be. He
could be. He's more talented, but that's the role J.D. McKissic has had basically his entire career and thrived in that role. Is Antonio Gibson magically going to take that from him? I don't think so, right? That's why Washington brought him back. But it's interesting to see that now they are using Gibson in this role when we knew he could do this all along. Man. And now they're deciding, and it's basically in his final season almost, that he can be a pass-catching back in the NFL.
And I don't know if they used him in the role per se. I think he just was the second running back, and then he was just on the field for all of it. But I don't care how you slice it. Gibson looked great when he got the ball. He caught that pass and ran, 20, 30-something yards.
The angle route.
Robinson is a problem. Like, I'm not trying to read any more into it or any less. He's a problem. He's going to be, and we said that from the draft. I thought that he would just be that annoying player that's always on the field a little bit more than you want. No matter how you slice it, it's not the ideal outcome that you would want if you have Gibson rostered in fantasy. I don't think it's doom and gloom just yet. But
question for you though, this is the biggest question for me. Who do you think should go first in startup drafts and even in redraft leagues? Which one would you take first? Would you take Brian Robinson? Would you take Antonio Gibson?
Gibson.
Okay.
And it doesn't. And here's the thing: it doesn't matter if y'all look across the NFL and how many running backs were like, "Oh man, this dude's buns. This guy's dust," and they are trusted in every situation and they can do the job, right? And if you're trusted and you can do the job, you're going to play. It's like. I don't know. I got to yell at y'all for a minute. Stop fucking overthinking the game. If you can play, it doesn't matter what your prospect profile was. None of that shit matters once you get to the league, bro. Like, none of that matters, right? If you're going to do the job and be able to execute and the coaches can trust you to be on the field, you're going to play. And if you've earned that trust from the coaching staff, you're going to play. You're going to play.
100%.
People got to get your head out of the fucking sky, man. Like, it's all right, Jay. I'm trying to spit
You're
some
very
facts.
upset this morning.
I'm not,
but
upset,
it's true.
But people are just you can't just see things one way. Like, be objective, be realistic.
Yeah.
If you're sitting back today and I have Gibson, I just said, you asked me who would I rather have, Gibson or Brian Robinson? I said Antonio Gibson. But you can't sit back and say, oh, no big deal. This is not an issue. He's running. You think Christian McCaffrey's going to run kick return? DeAndre Swift? They're going to throw him back there on kick return in preseason?
Damian Pierce?
In preseason, bro. Come on, y'all. Come on, dog.
No.
Come on,
it's a problem.
Dog. Come on. It's a problem, dog. It's a problem, right? I'll tell you, there is no problem. There is no problem in Buffalo because the Bills are humming, baby. The Bills... Woo! The Bills look good. They look ready to go right now. Right now, Jay. I mean, Josh Allen, you saw it. Scary Josh Allen and Gabe Davis, right?
Oh, in the pocket. Give me that.
Look at this.
Collapsing.
Look at this.
Little pirouette.
Spin out. Throw it deep.
Finds Gabe Davis.
There it is. Gabe Davis. People don't want that Gabe Davis, but Gabe going to be all right? Gabe is going to be all right this year.
He's going to be all right, for sure. For sure, he's going to be all right.
Josh Allen looked in rare form. The Bills just look good. And now, this was like Denver's second-team defense. They didn't play anybody, so they didn't play anybody. But it's good to see that the Buffalo Bills are just fine. Devin Singletary looked good in the game. They just look good. They look good.
What are we going to do with that backfield, man? Honestly, three backs are going to have work in that backfield. Zach Moss, 2 touchdowns in that game. Duke Johnson got some work. I don't even know if he's going to make the roster at this point because I didn't even think that Zach Moss was going to be a thing. We obviously saw some good things from James Cook. The other notable point that we didn't mention yet is Isaiah McKenzie was the sole slot receiver in 3 wide receiver sets. We didn't see any Jamison Crowder, so that was pretty big, right? To see him be the primary focal point. So that's kind of big, but obviously the story is Josh Allen and Gabe Davis. Those guys were just
Diggs
killing
caught
it.
a couple of balls. Like, they just look good. That whole offense. Cook, Singletary, I don't think there's going to be a primary ball carrier. We kind of talked about it yesterday as well, that there might be 2-3 backs that get 7-8 carries a week, but Motor looked good. Devin Singletary, people left him for dead, going into last season, and he built upon what he did, looked like at the end of last year, and continues to look good. So good for Devin Singletary. Is he somebody that you're going to throw out there and confidently roll out as your RB2? Probably not, but it's a depth piece, best ball asset. He looked really good. James Cook looked good as well. Jay, I watched my Dallas Cowboys versus the Chargers. Not a lot to take away from that one besides the fact that, I think it's Patrick Price. I think Marlon. I'm trying to remember all the people that were like Josh Palmer, because I got to give them some shout out today. Patrick, I think it was you. Marlon, I think it was you as well. Josh Palmer looked good. 3 for 75, had a touchdown. If he does claim that wide receiver 3 role with Justin Herbert, pretty solid, man. You gotta rock with that, right? Palmer looked pretty damn good, bro. Looked pretty damn 100%. Good. Also from that game, something deep, kind of deep sleeper kind of talk, Jay. And you know me, I'm Dallas Cowboy truther through and through. Dalton Schultz, baby. Jake Ferguson has been making a name for himself all training camp, all through the practices. I'm not going out there to say Jake Ferguson is the next Dalton Schultz, but Jake Ferguson, I'm thinking to myself, could that make Dalton Schultz expendable? Ferguson, very good pass catcher out of Wisconsin, has been making plays all training camp. Just going to throw it out there, man. Just if you're in deep dynasty leagues, deep benches, you got deep taxi rosters, I think Jake Ferguson, if you're looking, I know everybody's all over Isaiah Likely right now, and you should. But Jake Ferguson could be one of those guys that in a good offense with Dak Prescott, if they're saying, I'm not going to pay you, Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson looks really good, man. Somebody that I'm sort of intrigued with. He said, how did Tolbert look? Fine. I mean, he's all right. My enthusiasm for Tolbert is starting to go down a little bit. And the enthusiasm for Schultz and CeeDee Lamb are starting to go a little bit higher. I mean, Ferguson is just a sleeper. I still don't think he's going to be any kind of usable asset this year, Jay. But I'm just saying.
Usability is one thing, but I think what we're seeing from the Dallas Cowboys more than anything, we may see more 12 personnel and 22 personnel than we were projecting because they don't seem to have that wide receiver 3. And Jake Ferguson, obviously out of Wisconsin, great blocker, right? And was a great third down option. So for them, I think that's where you may see him on the field more than we're expecting, and even more so than a Jalen Tolbert or some of these other guys. We may see a lot of 12 personnel from the Cowboys this season, more than we were projecting for sure.
Okay. Anything else from the Chargers Dallas game? I know Kevontae Turpin had the long kick return. Don't pick him up, man. He's 5 foot fast, whatever, 150 pounds. He's fast, great special teams guy. You're not gonna throw him out there in any wide receiver role at all, ever. So let's go to Bucs versus Titans, man. No Tom Brady, but we did see Leonard Fournette. We saw a lot of Rachaad White. We know the Bucs offensive line is in shambles, which is scary. Thoughts on Keyshawn Vaughn as the RB2 to start the season? Got a lot of run, got a lot of opportunity in that game, a lot more than Rachaad White got and a lot earlier. Like White had a nice run in that game. I think eventually he develops into that backup running back, but it seems like Tampa Bay might trot out Keyshawn Vaughn out there early on. Do you have any interest in picking up Vaughn, who's probably on waivers just about everywhere?
A little bit, yeah, just because we know that role is a fruitful one for running backs, right? Everyone was expecting it to be Rachaad White, but if it is Keyshawn Vaughn, I think that's important to note because as much as we may want it to be Rachaad White, it could be Keyshawn Vaughn. I think not having Bruce Arians there is important as well because Bruce Arians didn't seem to like Keyshawn Vaughn a whole lot. And so with this new coaching staff, he may have more of a shot, and we saw that obviously. And then as well, your boy Tyler Johnson looked all right too in that game. How do you feel about him? Can he be an option this season for Tom Brady?
Tom Brady wasn't feeling Tyler Johnson last year, man, which makes me scared, makes me nervous, man. I don't know. I don't know if I want to dive back down to Tyler Johnson but I do kind of want to talk about our boy Malik Willis, man. He had a couple of nice plays. He played a lot.
Ooh.
I think he played through the first half. Nice pass right here. You saw the strength in the pocket right here, progressing through his reads. This is beautiful right here. Went to his third option and then hits that touchdown pass. You see the strength here. All I'll say is you probably don't want Malik out there this season, but he's got some stuff, man, where if some things, some development continues to happen in his favor, man, this could be a nice fantasy asset down the line. I thought he showed some flashes. Definitely not ready to play right now, but I was impressed with some of the raw ability that I saw from Malik Willis, as well as Hassan Haskins, Jay. We were looking yesterday at rush attempts per game for just running backs in the NFL. Derrick Henry is up here at the top of the pantheon. And then what was surprising, though, Jay, is when you look at inside like the top 15, rush attempts per game, D'Onta Foreman was inside that top 15. The direct backup to Derrick Henry. So I'm watching Hassan Haskins last night during the game, and he looked pretty damn good. If Hassan Haskins is the backup running back to Derrick Henry, and knock on wood, the king doesn't go down, but if something were to happen to Henry, it's probably going to be a healthy dose of whomever that backup running back is going to be, whether it's Julius Chestnut, Hassan Haskins. I thought Haskins looked really good, man. So, again, deep leagues, Haskins is somebody that I definitely would think needs to be rostered and stashed away. And Evan said it too. Haskins looked good too for what they asked him to do. Gain those tough yards. And again, D'Onta Foreman, I think he averaged 13 rush attempts per game once Derrick Henry went down, which was up there towards the top in the NFL. So a very fruitful position. And then with the void of pass catchers, they're probably going to have to lean on the run. Yeah. Really liked what I saw out of Hassan Haskins, man.
Yeah, that's a big point. Last year, even with A.J. Brown and some of the other guys they had, like they could have made it work, but they still didn't. And I think that's an important point, right? This year, they have kind of a whole new offense from a pass catching perspective. And so we'll see whether it's even going to work. But yeah, to your point, it's one of those offenses, again, where you want to try and find that backup who's cheap, who doesn't cost a lot, that if he does hit, obviously has massive upside like we saw last year with D'Onta Foreman. So I think this is a great decision, Ray. And I believe that Mike pointed out Dontrell Hilliard as well as a potential option as a guy who could fill that role
if he's the backup.
If something happens.
Yeah, no doubt, Mike. If he's the backup, no doubt. I think Haskins is a little better than Hilliard, but to your point, whomever that backup running back is, right, probably going to be good. Let's go Houston, L.A. Honestly, nothing to talk about from the L.A. side of the ball. I mean, they just didn't play anybody, so I don't want to talk about Bryce Perkins or John Walford, but we do need to talk about the Texans, and I started this off in the notes, Jay. What did I put? Davis Mills. Shaky AF. Shaky as you know what. I get it was preseason, but
not what you want to see.
If they have a top 3 pick, they may want to explore CJ Stroud. I mean, he just preseason, but he looked shaky, man. He looked shaky. Davis Mills looked shaky. Dameon Pierce did not play. Why didn't he play, Jay Rich?
Well, I mean, the reality is that he probably didn't play because he's a starter.
Probably the starter.
Probably didn't play because he's a starter.
Probably the starter.
Let's just be honest.
Probably a starter. There you go. Do with that what you will. Dameon Pierce has looked good. Apparently, he's been balling all camp, and he earned that job. Yep. We'll see. And then the big one, man, you know me, for some reason, I can't quit Michigan wide receivers. It was Donovan Peoples-Jones, Nico Collins. I just love Michigan wide receivers. They're just... Every Michigan player is so much better once they get underneath the thumb of Jim Harbaugh. And Nico Collins, baby, are we going to get it this year? Are we going to get it this year? Nico, baby.
Look at how Collins. Big he looks, though, next to Philip Dorsett.
No. I got to show you this one video. There's a play, Jay. I'm going to pull it up. There's a play from practice, right? And Nico Collins ran a dig route. Not a dig route, a hitch route. And, I mean, just... how big he is, the speed, it's insane. I'm going to pull up the video at some point while you're talking, and then I'm going to show
it. The thing with Nico, right, and I think people need to remember this, is that Matt Harmon's been talking about Nico for a while. Obviously, last year, people expected more from him. He didn't really do a whole lot, but this season, I believe he was 66th percentile in man coverage per reception perception. So there's a lot of things to like with Nico, and obviously Brandon Cook's still going to be there, but they do need a number 2 option. That play alone just shows you the size, the strength that we all expected when he went to Michigan and saw none of it because they can't pass the ball. But I think now playing with Davis Mills, hopefully he can have a good season. We'll see what he looks like. Obviously, 4 receptions, 48 yards, the touchdown on 6 targets. You got the clip, right?
I got the clip.
All right.
Hold on. Let's run. Let's let it run back. Right? You just sit like he's huge, man.
Oh my God.
Look at him. Boom, boom, boom. Press vertical. Sit down. Create the separation right there. Look at him, dude. Boom. It looks like a fade. Stop on a dime.
He's huge.
He's huge. So
he's huge.
I mean,
what is he listed at? 6'4", 215? Man, I don't even believe it. I think he's big. He looks bigger than that even. It looks like he had a growth spurt. He's just massive human being. But he could be a thing for sure.
Yeah, I think he definitely could be a thing. It's just Davis Mills, right? Like what is Davis Mills gonna do to get him the ball? So let's go to Carolina, New England. Jay, it sounds like you're in a fishbowl. I don't know. Maybe it's my headphones, but it sounds like you're a little bit in a fishbowl. I mean,
this fishbowl?
Maybe you're in that fishbowl. We'll just keep it going. Carolina, New England. Jay, I know you're a Patriots fan, man. I am those receivers. And then they lose Tyquan Thornton. And the fact that we're saying they lost Tyquan Thornton lets you know that they needed every able body they possibly can get, and now they don't have him. Yeah. Mac Jones did drop a dime in there to Nelson Aguilar, like 50 yards downfield. Beautiful throw. Missed a couple early. Well, Aguilar's back relevant in certain leagues. Jacoby Myers, Devontae Parker dropped the ball that was behind him a little bit. It's offense, man. I'm concerned.
I'm still concerned. Like you said, we'll see what happens with the offense overall. I'm not fully sold on what they could be. Like Nelson Aguilar was a thing in preseason last year. He was looking good in the deep ball. But again, when it finally came down to the season, he didn't look good, right? And so losing him, it's going to be more Myers. Hopefully Parker helps out, but it's hard to imagine they improve this season. Roro's saying Kendrick Bourne is heavily in the doghouse right now. He looked bad last week in practice. Mike Reese reported that he started the fight in practice last week and got kicked out. It's not looking good for Kendrick Bourne right now. As much as I like him, I think he's a great touchdown threat, a big body option in the slot. He's not doing things to be on the field, right? And that's the biggest problem right now. Yeah, Pierre Strong.
Yeah, Pierre Strong, nothing. Wolf. Kevin Harris, Wolf.
Nothing, man.
Kendrick Bourne, doghouse. This is just... Sucks for Mac Jones, man. Sucks for Mac Jones. But somebody said in the chat, on to the next game. Well, real quick, Carolina. Do we have any notes from Carolina? No, none.
No,
0 notes from Carolina. All right, big game.
No one played.
Steelers versus the Jags. This was a big one, Jay, and a lot of people played. This is a big game. And you need to apologize to Trevor Lawrence because he looked damn good. And I get it, preseason, but did he execute the assignment that was asked of him when he? Because here's the thing. Here's what you do. You people, you haters. This is what you do. When the player does bad, you shit can him, right? Stunk it up. In the preseason game, he's awful, terrible. But then when they do well, it's just preseason. Doesn't count. It's just preseason. Did he execute the assignment, Jordan?
He did. He looked good. 14 for 21 is good. He threw the ball to Christian Kirk, which is all I ask of him. That's all I ask. Throw the ball to Christian Kirk, run the ball to Travis Etienne. He did look good, though. He did look, once TJ Watt got off the field, he looked pretty good because TJ Watt ate him up. But other than that, Trevor Lawrence did look good, right? He got the ball. They played a lot, right?
I'm encouraged that he didn't look terrible, right? Like
Marvin Jones, 3 targets, 40 yards.
Marvin Jones.
I'm just saying.
Christian Kirk is good. Christian Kirk might be the most undervalued 140 target receiver that you can get in fantasy. Like he's just going to be peppered.
And how long we've been saying it? It's again, you don't want it to be a thing,
right?
But he probably will, right? He probably will be a thing simply because he's just one of the only guys who's an option there. And if they're going to use him in that role in the offense, so be it. I'll take the targets. It may not be the best targets, it may not be the most advantageous targets, but I will take the targets because they're probably going to be there this season. But T-Law looked good. I know you liked what you saw from Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett looked pretty good too.
Kenny Pickett did look good.
What are your thoughts on Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett did look good. And I'm a man. I'm one of these guys, man, Jay. If I'm wrong, I ain't got no problem saying I'm wrong, right? We overreacted on Kenny Pickett. I still don't think he's gonna be some Tom Brady level passer.
Yeah.
But we overreacted after four days of training camp, calling him a bust. It's terrible. Don't draft him ever. I think we overreacted just a tad bit. Pickett looked good. That leg is hurting, Jay. Got to kick it up. Got to kick that leg up.
To be fair, we're still talking about fantasy, right? Which I think the jury is still maybe out on. And then you did put in the notes as well, Claypool playing in the slot, like we reported from, I think about a few weeks ago now, it seemed that it's looking like Pickens will be the outside receiver with Deontay Johnson, with Claypool moving into the slot, which is massive for that offense. Claypool playing in the slot is a big problem because he can beat the corners or the nickel corners and the safeties. He struggled a little bit more so with those outside corners. So I think overall it could mean big things for what the offense could be. But like we talked about, we're still not sure what is going to happen from the quarterback position. We need them to be good for the players to be good, but overall, I don't really know what to expect. But personally, I think you're right. I think that Pickett did look much better than we were projecting, and he could be a thing if he does start this season.
A thing for fantasy or just a thing for the Steelers from an NFL?
No, a thing for fantasy. Okay. Like a thing for fantasy, right?
Good.
Like
he's looked good, man. Like no bullshit. He's looked good. Like just keeping it real. He's looked good. If he can get on the field and these weapons are all in place, like he should be able to do something if he's good, right? And I think he's shown that he's pretty good. Let me ask you something. Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett, probably the same type of quarterback? Probably same type of quarterback?
Man, you're going to do this to me?
Just answer, just vibe with me, baby. Damn. Are they probably the same type of quarterback, Mac and Kenny Pickett?
I honestly don't think so. I think that Mac is a much better quarterback than Kenny Pickett. But Kenny Pickett has the mobility.
Okay.
Like if we're going arm talent, like Mac Jones has the arm talent other than the rocket arm, but he can throw it deep.
They're the same type of fantasy quarterback.
Fantasy, yeah.
Probably QB2s, right?
Oh, easily. They're not.
Who's got the better weaponry?
Oh, better, but the better the upside play is Kenny Pickett by leaps and bounds.
Isn't it?
Right? Because again, one team has an offense, one team doesn't. Like let's just be real about this situation. The Steelers have one of the best offenses for fantasy football in the league. Like, I don't think there's very few offenses that would take over the Steelers from just a pure weaponry perspective. But it just comes down to can Kenny Pickett come in and execute versus Mac Jones, who we know can execute, but he has nobody to throw the ball to, nobody around him. That's
a problem, Jay.
Yeah,
like,
big problem.
That is like, and I love me some Mac Jones, bro. But who is he going to get where's it coming from, man? You know?
I mean, the crazy thing is we saw it last year, and he had to make a lot of plays for that offense last year. And don't get me wrong, Hunter Henry did his thing. Kendrick Bourne had some good games. Jacoby Myers did some stuff. But, again, it's much different than what you get if you can...
Can Pickett not be Kirk Cousins? Can he not be Kirk Cousins?
I wouldn't go that far.
Why not?
I wouldn't go that far. Because I don't think he's doing it from a talent perspective, right? So, again, I don't want to confuse Kirk Cousins, the quarterback, with Kirk Cousins... the fantasy quarterback, because he has some guys around him. He doesn't have a ton around him. He's got some really good talent, but he's got a ton around him. He was throwing for 4,000 yards, 4,500 yards in Washington with nobody around him. So he's a good quarterback. But Pickett for fantasy could be, back end QB1 because of all the players around him, right? He's got so much available to him. If the offensive line holds up, you look at Pickens, Claypool, Deontay, Najee, Freiermuth, one of the best units in the league as far as I'm concerned. One of the best.
Okay. Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne looked fast. Still missing holes left and right, but he looks fast, man.
He cannot run the ball very well, man.
If he cannot read defenses, but man, if he hits a crease, it's gone. Like lights out. Etienne, you can just see
here's a really triggering question for probably a lot of people. And I hate to say this, but he reminds me a lot of Darrell Henderson, but just more talent. Like what we see from Darrell Henderson, where he can't really hit a hole, but at Memphis, he's going through these seaways with no defenders there. I'm just, again, like you said, if he hits a crease, he's gone, just like Darrell Henderson. He can catch passes out of the backfield, but he's just a better version of that. So I'm curious what that looks like in the NFL, but it's reminding me a lot of what Darrell Henderson was.
People don't want to hear that, man, but we said it coming out of Clemson. He ain't never had to read a defense and react. Like it was just lanes, right? It has not looked good early, but he is very, very explosive. Very explosive.
Yeah.
I see a couple of people saying they're not buying the Etienne hype. Etienne equals Miles Sanders 2.0.
And he could be better than Henderson, but it's just the similarities are very striking for me. A guy that did between the tackles, he hasn't quite figured it out yet, and hopefully he does. But out of the backfield, he is a good pass catcher, and Henderson actually is a good pass catcher out of the backfield, but he's a little better than that.
I don't know if he's a good pass catcher. I don't know. The thing that is I know is he's going to get opportunity, and that means something, right? They gave him the ball 10 times in the game. Like he's going to get opportunity, but
8 carries, 29 yards, 3.6 a carry, max of 10, and then what do you get from?
He's on the field, man. The thing, hold on, I want to do this. John says the thing I don't understand with Etienne is viewing him as an elite pass catcher. His biggest weakness,
Yes.
he's not an elite pass catcher. Like, I'm telling y'all out there right now, anybody who thinks he's some elite pass catcher, if your favorite analyst said that,
it's crazy. A lot of people.
It is dead ass wrong. And the people in the wake up chat who rock with me, rock with DD, have know all the breakdown of where his receptions came, how he was using the receiving game at Clemson. He is not an elite pass catching running back. Stop the bullshit. Stop box score scouting. Like that's not so far from the truth, man. Vikings 49ers, man. A lot of interesting developments in this one, and I'm gonna throw some conspiracy theories out here. There's a lot of rumors out there with the Philadelphia Eagles potentially looking to trade for a running back. We're hearing Kareem Hunt being rumored to Philadelphia. I also saw one the other day of Alexander Mattison, and I'm like, why would the Vikings trade Alexander Mattison? Well, Jay, they have Ty Chandler, who has looked outstanding so far in preseason. He's been good in practice camp reports, and maybe Ty Chandler makes Alexander Mattison a little more expendable. They know they're probably not going to re-sign him, and I think his contract is up after this season, so maybe get something for him, get a 6th rounder for him, get a 5th, whatever they can fetch for a running back, get something back for Mattison, and let Ty Chandler have the job. He's looked outstanding, man, and I think he'd be a more than comparable backup to Dalvin Cook. I don't think he's no threat to Cook whatsoever. But Ty Chandler, man, somebody that I liked a ton. I know he was older. The prospect profile is, he's 24, he's 6-year senior. I don't give a shit about any of that. 2 to 3 years. Can Ty Chandler be serviceable for 2 to 3 years? And I think the answer is 100% yes. Mike Zimmer was correct. Kellen Mond does stink. He is not good. Yeah. Kellen Mond, no bueno, not very good. Trey Sermon, not very good. It looks like it's going to be Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, and Tyrion Davis-Price as the primary rushers. I don't know what's going on with Jeff Wilson. I can't pretend to be as in tune with what's going on with Jeff Wilson. TDP got a lot of carries, had a nice run, broke a whole bunch of tackles. Jordan Mason, everybody from the San Francisco Circle said there's no way this dude clears waivers. He's going to make the final 53. So there you go, some deep running backs that you can kind of go get, in deeper dynasty leagues. Ty Chandler, don't pick up Kellen Mond, and Trey Sermon. Can we stop with the Trey Sermon experience? Now, my Vegas Raiders, and the Miami Dolphins played. And the big takeaway from that one, Jay, is Mike Gesicki stinking it up, missing blocks left and right, playing into halftime when none of the other starters were out there. And then this running back, it's going to be a shit show, man. They're just going to roll out. They're just going to platoon backs. It seems like it's going to be Edmonds. It's going to be Sony. Savon Ahmed is out there taking carries. Myles Garrett. I have no clue what to make of this Miami backfield, man. None.
I mean, do you think it could just be Chase Edmonds, though?
I hope so.
We haven't seen a lot from Chase Edmonds, but I think that three carries for 3 yards is god-awful. But, I mean,
man.
I'm hoping that they just pass the ball more, right? For Tua's sake, for Tyreek Hill, for Jalen Waddle. Because they haven't shown the ability to run the ball for years, but they continue to do it. I'm hoping this year, whether it's the scheme, maybe they're just showing nothing in the preseason, which is fully possible. Mike McDaniel's kind of keeping things close to his vest, but we have to see something to instill some confidence that they can succeed this season running the football, and we just haven't seen that yet. So I'm kind of with you. I don't know what to expect, but Gesicki is definitely going to be a problem this season. He's
like a bad
if you have him, I don't
problem?
think you want him. No, a bad problem. He was quoted saying, "I'm learning a new position. Honestly, I played receiver last year. I played receiver the last 3-4 years. I'm playing tight end now." What does that say to you about Mike Gesicki, the player, and what he learned at Penn State, what he learned at Miami? Nothing, apparently. He's not playing tight end, but now he is. He's supposed to be blocking, all this stuff. He could be very bad for fantasy this season. If you got him, you probably want to trade him. Because if he can't block, why is he even going to be on Miami next season? Yeah. Let's be real. They're going to need a blocking tight end. And who's that going to be? We don't know. But Miami's definitely going to be looking for one if Gesicki can't get it done this season.
Oh, boy. Skylar Thompson. Is he worth a stash? This I'm just saying.
You were very critical of old Skylar Thompson back in the day. Back when we did the mock drafts. He said, Skylar Thompson, yuck, I believe was the direct quote. I still think
he's yuck, but man, he's been balling. Is he worth it? I'm just asking, man. I'm not making him a priority ad here, but is he deep leagues Would you be stashing Skylar Thompson?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But he did look good. He did, and he can run, right? That's the biggest thing. He can run.
He's looked good.
A lot of guys look good.
He could run in college too. Like that's what he did. Yeah. He just ran all over the place, man. We'll see. Just keep your eye out.
Give him one more week.
Should you be stashing Daniel Jones still? Where are you at with Daniel Jones? He had a good game. He had a good game yesterday. By Daniel Jones standards, he should have been 15 for 16, no interceptions. Yep. The one interception clanked off the hands of Daniel Bellinger, and then it was picked off. He completed passes, man. Like I'm trying to be fair, right? It was a better outing for Daniel Jones than we had seen, right? I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably doesn't matter, but it was a better outing for Daniel Jones. Jashaun Corbin, I think he's going to be the backup to Saquon Barkley, man. I like Corbin coming out. I liked him when he was at A&M. Talked about him coming out of Florida State, just limited opportunity. May end up carving out that backup role behind Saquon Barkley. He's got some nice juice. Chris Evans, you saw the long kick return for Chris Evans. I think he eventually takes over the backup role over Samaje Perine. Kayvon Thibodeau hurt his knee. I didn't hear any reports on that, but Thaddeus Moss chop blocked him, hurt the knee. Yeah. Thibodeau looked bad.
He said he feels good, but we're waiting on the MRI results right now.
I felt good after I tore my Achilles, too. I walked out of the stadium, man. I was like, man, it's just a cramp. I feel all right. But Corbin looked all right, man. Corbin looked all right. Deep rosters, taxi. What does he become? Probably nothing, but just giving him his props. He looked good in that preseason game. Jay, we got to talk about him because everybody loves him.
Okay, hold up though.
Oh, my bad.
Are you skipping over Colin Johnson? You want nothing to do with Colin Johnson?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just want to point out because Colin Johnson's looked good 2 weeks in a row now, playing with the ones, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out. Big body receiver. He's got the wingspan. He can jump a little bit. I think that he could be something. So I would just point that out. Don't fade Colin Johnson if he's out there. Maybe you go pick him up because he may get more run than we're expecting in this season. So I would look to see maybe he's out there. Not to say he's be playing over. Oh, is he back?
Yeah.
He's back this season?
5-star Pete broke the news. Tom Brady is back. He is back.
Good.
So he didn't retire and clearly didn't win the Masked Singer. So Tom Brady is back. But yes, Colin Johnson has looked good, Jay. I give you that. Yeah. Straight up.
I definitely want people to remember that. Colin Johnson does look good. And I think he could potentially see a role in this offense if it means anything. I don't know. Eric's saying roster clogger. I'm fine with that. Yeah. But if you do care, maybe you go look at Colin Johnson a little bit.
What about the fourth string wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers? How does he look?
He looks good with what he can do, right? He can go up and get a ball. He's big. He's not getting pressed at the line, which looks good for him. Romeo Doubs,
man.
Getting it.
Doesn't this look Devontae Adams-esque right here? Back shoulder fade, good ball by Jordan Love. We're gonna have to clip that one. That look Devontae Adams-esque right there. Yeah, he did look good. It's just
wearing the 87 little Donald Driver action from back in the day.
No, Donald Driver was 80. That's Jordy Nelson, 87.
Oh, it's Jordy
Donald
Nelson.
Driver was 80.
Even better.
Yeah, Dubs look good. Romeo Dubs look good. I like that. Tyler Goodson had a good game in that one.
Yeah.
From the Packers, looking like he's going to carve out that number 3 running back role. Your boy Taysom Hill caught a pass, at tight end. I don't know if there was a lot to take away from this game outside of Romeo Dubs.
Chris Olave first touchdown.
What'd you say?
Chris Olave first touchdown.
Chris Olave did score. Yep, Chris Olave did score his first touchdown. Nice touchdown for Olave. Probably going to factor in, be a nice complimentary piece for Jameis Winston in the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Goodson again, though. Deep leagues, talking about a running back, one injury away from getting some opportunity. That could very well be one Tyler Goodson. We also had the Detroit Lions and the Indianapolis Colts play, Jay. This game was on, I believe this was on Saturday. I think this was a Saturday game. For me, Sam Ehlinger, it's always fun to watch him because he cashes preseason fantasy score bets on Prize Picks. But other than that, Alec Pierce still waiting for him to make a big play. I see it in practice, and we have yet to see it in a game. Still waiting for that to come to fruition. Wasn't a ton to take away from there because none of the horses played in that game. None of the big dogs played. Then we had Philadelphia versus Cleveland. And we got to see some Kenneth Gainwell. Got a lot of action. Kenny Gainwell got a lot of action, and it's reported that there's no timetable, Jay, for Miles Sanders' return. And that's what we kind of talked about. We saw during the joint practices, Nick Sirianni talking with Kareem Hunt. Jerome Ford looking good, maybe giving Cleveland the flexibility to say that we don't have to pay Kareem. We got Jerome Ford here. We have Dearness Johnson. We got him on that tenure, 2-year, second-year tender. Maybe they can let Kareem Hunt go. But a lot of people have asked me, Ray, can Gainwell be the guy? I like him.
Not yet.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The speedster, Devon Allen, the Olympian, had a long touchdown run. Doubt he's going to make the roster this year, but that's some scary speed. Maybe they could stash him on practice squad, and maybe a year or two from now he becomes something if he continues to stick with it. Our boy Jalen Reagor, 2 for 17, continues the camp dominance, getting targeted in the preseason. And then from the other side of the ball, I know David Bell had a really good game for Cleveland, so that should be exciting for people who have David Bell. His prospect profile coming out was really nice, and now that we know Deshaun Watson's only out for 11 games, maybe there's some opportunity for one David Bell. The big game, or I guess the night game, I'm not going to say the big game, but Baltimore versus Arizona. Baltimore, 22 straight preseason wins, man. That's something that they prioritize.
Insane.
They want to win, and good for them. And is Tyler Huntley the best backup quarterback in the NFL?
For fantasy, I'd say yes. Best backup, no.
He's good, man.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
You think he could be a starter? Like, if he got an opportunity, could Tyler Huntley be a starter? Like, is he a starting?
Really think
like,
so.
Think about it. Let me ask you this. Let me vibe with me here. Would you rather roll out Davis Mills or Tyler Huntley?
I'd rather have Davis Mills.
Mitch Trubisky or Tyler Huntley?
Oh, see, I think I'm still Mitch. The problem is that you're going to bring up guys that have stink on them already. Tyler Huntley doesn't have the stink.
I mean, I'm not going to say
but he didn't
Aaron
exactly
Rodgers
win
or
games
Tyler
for
Huntley. Geno Smith and Drew Lock or Tyler Huntley?
I think I'd want to see Tyler Huntley win that job, personally. Yeah.
Mariota or Huntley?
You're getting closer. I think I'd rather see Huntley, but I think Mariota should probably start. He was still number 2 pick in the draft.
Wentz or Huntley?
Oh, Wentz. Come on.
Just asking.
Come on.
Look good, man. Tyler Huntley had a game, man. 13 for 14, 129, 1 touchdown. He also had, 2 carries, 9 yards. Isaiah Likely, the big winner, 8 catches, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Find me a quarterback who loves the tight end more than Tyler Huntley. And if Tyler Huntley does get a job, I am immediately picking up that tight end because he will just pepper the tight end with targets. Huntley looks good, man. Looks good, Jay.
And that's the problem, right? Is that he does hyper target tight ends. He's not good for wide receivers. So I think that's where you see the limits in his game week after week. Great for Mark Andrews, but not great for everyone else involved on that offense.
Okay. All right. I think we've got one game tonight, Jay. We've got the Joe Flacco-led Jets versus the Marcus Mariota-led Falcons tonight. I do not believe Drake London is playing in that one. What's his injury? A knee bruise, something like that? I don't know what his injury is, but he hadn't practiced all week. I have little interest in this game. I guess to see some Algier. I got to see our boy, Breece Hall, Miss McDaniel. Breece's mom is a supporter of the show, so we got to shout out Breece and see what Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson do. But overall, a lot of backups played. A lot of these guys are going to be cut. The Arizona side of the game, Jay, Trace McSorley was the quarterback. You don't want Trace McSorley. Eno Benjamin. All reports, Eno Benjamin has not been standing out in camp. Darrell Williams didn't do anything this game. Eno Benjamin didn't do anything this game. Keontae Ingram, I think he had one nice catch, a nice catch in that game. But it seems like it's going to be James Conner. I know people want to bury him and get Conner out of there. But if this is what they're working with behind him, it's probably just going to be a healthy dose of damn James Conner, right? And then you're trying to figure out, is it Eno? Is it Darrell Williams? And we probably don't want either of those guys, right?
Yeah, no, I don't really want either of them, honestly. But yeah, to your point about the game tonight, it is in New York, right? It's probably going to rain, so we may not see as many starters as we hoped.
Yeah,
I think we saw that in Philly as well. We didn't see the starters play, I think, because of the weather. So we'll see. But I'm hoping we see some guys play because it would be fun. But with the rain, there's even here, there's potentially a lot of rain. I know even in Texas, you guys are looking at some rain too.
Flooding,
so
man.
It could be interesting.
That's flooding bad. Biggest takeaway. What's the biggest? What has you most excited coming out of this preseason week 2? You're like, just
I think it has to be Dameon Pierce right now. For me, he's got to be the number one story. A guy that we every year it's which running back can be the RB1 for their team heading into the season. Who can win the job?
Mm-hmm.
It's looking like it's Dameon Pierce. I think he has to be the number one story so far. What do you think is the number one story?
I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, but man, I get it. It was versus their second-team defense, but Buffalo, man, like I know a lot of people are like, sell Gabe Davis, and I get it, right? His price got really high, and you could have capitalized and got a lot, and I think that's the right play. But if you do have Gabe Davis, I think all these guys are gonna smash. Diggs is gonna do his thing. Davis is going to be a very usable asset, whether it's in lineup leagues or best ball. Isaiah McKenzie's going to get burned. Like the Buffalo offense, man, I just want a piece of it. James Cook, Devin Singletary, Josh Allen. Like it is scary. You talked about putting in a bet for, 10-1 odds to win NFL MVP?
10-1, boosted 10-1. Yeah, he's normally I think 7 or 7.5 to 1. He should be the favorite. Like, and I've talked about this. I feel like we've talked about this for years. Last year he could have won the MVP, but didn't because Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal.
Yes.
And it feels like this could be finally the year. You know, he's been right there, number 2, number 3 for a couple of years, and people want him to win the MVP. I think he's gonna really gun for it this season. He could have an amazing year, honestly. And the way that they're looking right now with Davis and Singletary and Moss and Cook and Isaiah Hodgins may get run. Khalil Shakir looks good. Crowder looks good. Like everybody on that offense looks good, ready to roll, like ready to make a title run. I think Buffalo's very motivated. Josh Allen's very motivated, and they just look like they're just all cylinders are just clicking right now for the Buffalo Bills. Could be a phenomenal season for everyone involved.
Absolutely, man. There it is. We went through every game, Jay. We got one more tonight. Don't know how much action we'll get out of that, but we will be tapped in to that. Good show today. Appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us this morning. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Start your Monday off the right way. Go out there. Be great, man. Go attack the day. Seize the day. Make shit happen today, baby. Make shit happen. Take advantage of every opportunity. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Like the content. If it's your first time tapping in with us, thank you. We appreciate you being here. Wednesday, going to do a little college football talk. The college football season is here. Let's talk about some of these 2023 prospects, which games we should be paying attention to for this upcoming season for week 1. Subscribe to the newsletter below. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Jay, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here? We got one super chat I got to get to, too, from Jimbo. Well, let's do this. What's good, y'all? Let's do the sounder for Jim. Yeah. I get on the show. We get no super chats. You do the show, and you freaking made $300, man. What's good, y'all? At the 107 for an RB needy team. James Cook or jump on the Dameon Pierce train? Too early for Pierce, man. I can't do it. You got to go Cook.
You can't do it, eh?
I couldn't do it. Not at 107. If I had to take a running back, I'm taking James Cook. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking Pierce at 107. Can't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Can't do it.
It's tempting, though. It is tempting.
It's tempting. I did move him
up.
We
just don't know he's the starter yet. Then if he was the starter, would you take him or no? Like if it was announced yesterday.
I mean, he is. I think he is the starter, and I still wouldn't take him, man. Wouldn't take him, man. Still wouldn't take him. I moved him up inside my top 12, though. Rookie ranks. I got him at like 12. Yeah. I'll take him at the back of the first. I'm not taking him at the 7th spot. So there you go. Hope y'all enjoy it, man. Have a good day. We'll be back on Wednesday, college football stuff, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. We out of this thing. Peace.